Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Oops, I accidentally revealed my true voice instead of my commentator's voice. Let's get to it. So we're going to be crafting classes today. We're going into the advanced classes. I don't even know who I want to tackle today. I guess just because we're kind of going in order. Let's tackle the BARD, because the BARD sucks. Not the class itself, just the crafting cost. Like, look at this. We already covered the Vanguard, so sentient shards kind of fall under that category, but all right, let's just get this out of the way and say, first and foremost, if you really want the BARD, buy one of the store packs. It's honestly going to be cheaper to get a part-time job and just work like 1 or 2 hours at that job and then quit. And then you'll be able to afford the BARD pack versus the 20 or more hours of just solid grinding, locking in specifically to get all the resources for this godforsaken class. But if you like pain and suffering, sentient shards. So you know when random rampage events end up popping up on the hour? Yeah, those rampage bosses are what you're going to kill to get a sentient shard. You'll basically just find those bosses showing up here in the Luminopolis city. But there we go, I'm just trying to find one of these posts here so I can show you the resistors crafting bench, which I'm pretty sure you can get in Club Worlds, but this way I'm showing you it vanilla. These beacons right here, if you can afford them, that's a big if, they're very expensive. This will summon a rampage boss, so this is why sometimes you'll see clubs having like huge rampage challenges going on, where you basically kill all the rampage bosses and then you get the sentient shard. But unfortunately, rampage bosses are coded the same as pinatas, so only the 8 surrounding people will be able to get the sentient shard out of it, if it even drops in the first place. Let alone, I mean, if you end up crafting these, at the very least, then the host that throws them down will guarantee a sentient shard. But yeah, it's really bad. Sentient shards are a very difficult resource to obtain. As if that wasn't bad enough, there's also the bound brilliance, which is specifically obtained from weekly class power rank leaderboards and from events. I don't know why it still says it's from events, because frankly speaking, it's been a long time since we had an event that actually gave us, you know, anything, let alone bound brilliance. But taking a look at the leaderboard here, we'll go to the classes. Where are they? Class power rank. I think it's only the weekly ones, right? The contested. Yeah, contests. So you're gonna have to be in the top 125 just to get some bound brilliance. You could get them very rarely out of these leaderboard reward boxes, if I recall as well. But yeah, the fact that those resources are so ridiculously difficult to obtain is pretty sad. The only reason I have so much of them is because there used to be this daily box that you could either log in every day during a month and then you would open those and they would give you bound brilliance, or you could literally spend money to buy the tokens to buy those boxes. And that's kind of what I did. I stockpiled because I saw the writing on the wall and I took advantage of it. There's also the free range electrolyte crystals, which these are easier to obtain than you would think. Most of all, there's going to end up being these, where is my boxes? The glowing crystalline cache? Maybe? Yeah, as far as I know, you get these boxes just randomly out of the delves, as well as maybe geode surface. I'm not 100% sure because it doesn't say in the description, and those just kind of clog my inventory, frankly speaking. But more importantly, there is going to end up being the pressure locked delve cache, and these are boxes that you can get out of the delves or geode caves. And these can end up containing the free range electrolyte crystal as well. But you could also just find the electrolyte inside the delves. I don't remember what tier they're in. It does say the deepest of delves, so I would assume it's tier 5, but I'm not 100% certain. And then there's the crystalline cores, which thankfully you're in luck because crystalline cores are so much easier to obtain than they used to be. Most of all, I would say to refer to my gear guide videos. You know, after we ended up having the gear update, essentially it made obtaining gear, more particularly crystal gear, a lot easier because of these bad boys right here, the Gear Crafter Vaults. So just to give a quick summary, what you're going to do to get the Gear Crafter Vaults is go into Forbidden Spires because that biome has the most random elite mobs in the game. And every elite and every dungeon can end up actually dropping one of these. And these will end up giving you a various range of equipment, but you only have to be like I think gear level, like power rank 20,000 in order to get like up to crystal 4 gear. I don't know for crystal 1 and 2, but suffice to say it's probably as low as like 5, maybe even 10k PR. I don't know. But the point being is when you end up loot collecting crystal gear, that's how you end up getting the crystalline cores. Or you could do the 5-star dungeons and so on. But generally speaking, these are way easier to obtain now. And lastly, barium. This is the resource and the very reason why you will more than likely just want to buy one of the packs that gives you this class. Because the barium is ridiculously difficult to get, because if you're at the early game, you will not be able to get to the tier 5 geode caves forever. It takes a really long time. I'm not going to go into too much detail with it, but you go to the geode sanctuary here, and there's all these crazy different mechanics that have since been abandoned by the game, basically. But more importantly, there's going to be these stupid caves right here. In order to even handle the deeper caves, you're going to have to get Omni tools so you can mine the barium in the first place, but you're going to have to get your gas high enough that you can survive in that biome, and so on and so on and so forth. There's just so many steps that I don't want to cover in today's video, because I don't want this to just turn into a complete cluster of, oh, now this has been hijacked by the geode caves. So I'll just say refer to my older videos, but even then, I know I didn't do a very good job of making tutorials on the geode caves specifically, but suffice to say, it is an extremely tedious aspect of the game that will envelop you. Because you're gonna go into these caves that are, since, you know, now it's the delves basically, and these caves will essentially have no combat whatsoever and have a completely separate progression system, which ultimately you will have to do if you want to get to the end game, because it will end up giving you geode mastery, and geode mastery gives you light, which makes you stronger. So assuming you know all of this geode stuff, the point being is you got to find it in geode like tier 5 or delves tier 5. No, caves tier 5. Good Lord. Or you can end up buying barium off of players, which is significantly cheaper than I remember. Good Lord. That's not that bad. I mean, it's still ridiculously expensive. So they're 3,000 a pop. So, oh, no, that's very expensive. Because, yeah. Oof. Yeah, because you need 6,500. But yeah, suffice to say, that's just one of these many other resources. So yeah, just suffer a little bit. You know, get like some part-time job or help your Nana mow the lawn or something, and get a couple bucks and or just save your allowance or whatever, or sell a game, and then just buy the BARD instead. With that said, I hope today's video was helpful to you, regardless of how intimidating that class is to craft. I hope that you found this helpful. If you did, smash like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment telling me if you actually suffered through crafting the class, because that would be awesome. The merch is significantly cheaper over on the new fourth wall link, which should be right on top of my head. And then otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen.